been through explaining about his kingdom, this kingdom that's going to happen, the kingdom of God. And then look at how they respond to this. Verse 6, they gather around him and they ask, Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom to Israel? Now that question may not make much sense to you, but it's a big deal because it just illustrates how much they were missing the point. They thought that Jesus was going to be a political leader. They were waiting for him to overthrow Rome. They were certain that the restoration of their country was part of God's plan. They were just certain that for God to do what he was going to do, it had to be getting rid of the evil Romans. These Romans are terrible. We got to get rid of them. We've got to restore our country to the glorious country that it used to be. And for that to happen, Jesus, you got to take over. And so that's what they're asking him right here, right now. They totally misunderstood the kind of kingdom that he was talking about. I just got to pause here for just a second. Because you and I find ourselves in a position right now where it would be very easy for us to misunderstand the kind of kingdom that God is building. Because we're at a place in our country where many of us are looking at it going, this isn't the country that I grew up in. And I see a lot of people a little nervous, a little scared, a little frustrated, honestly a little angry at the way things seem to be going. I get it. I get why we could be upset. But one thing we got to keep in mind is that we cannot fall into the trap that the disciples had fallen into, which is where we become convinced that God's plan must include the restoration of our country. I'm not saying America's going down the tubes. I'm not saying God's done with it. I don't know what God's plan for America is. I know this. God is building a kingdom that is bigger than the borders of the United States of America. It rules in the hearts and in the lives of his people. That's what God wanted to do then, and it's what God is doing now. And I got good news for you. As the church, we win. We've read the rest of the story. We know how the book finishes. We win in the end. It's what happens. So there's good news for us. We press forward not because our confidence is in a political leader or in a particular political system. We move forward because our confidence is in our King and in his kingdom that is not bound by geographical boundary or political leader. And thank God, because right now, the choices that we have in front of us just aren't that great. And so here we are